Hey folks, Jackdaw here. Following the recent unveiling of the next Dragon Age game's title, Dragon Age Dreadwolf, today I am fully uncovering the project's development so far, exploring every aspect of this game's production stages and delving into everything that you need to know about this game's progression in the recent years. As a quick forward, it's fair to say that Dragon Age Dreadwolf's early stages of development have been quite a tumultuous time, from a live service reboot and single player turnaround to pandemic challenges and key staff departures. Yet despite those difficulties, the next Dragon Age is currently powering through its production stages. BioWare are creating the next Dragon Age with Anthem's tools and codebase to save time. The team's expertise with the Frostbite engine have grown tremendously. The team are not recreating the next Dragon Age from scratch like previous titles. The planned live service and multiplayer components have been canned for a laser-focused single-player experience, and BioWare's leadership teams have undergone restructuring to ensure that this vision is realised. As it currently stands, BioWare are taking measures to ensure that the company's previous mistakes will not be repeated in the development of Dragon Age Dreadwolf. If you know anything about Anthem or Andromeda's developments, you will know that they both shared the same patterns and mistakes that ultimately led to each game's failure, i.e. spending too much time in the pre-production stages, recreating each project from scratch, and a lack of knowledge with the Frostbite engine, etc. BioWare are trying very hard to avoid falling into those same routines with their next game in the Dragon Age series, and based on Jason Schreier's reports with staff close to the project and many other sources, it seems like BioWare and the Dragon Age team have resolved most of those mistakes and pitfalls. With that prefaced, let's investigate further and dive deep into the major production updates of the next Dragon Age, specific to each year, analysing what we know so far since the very start of Dragon Age 4's production in 2015, working our way up to June 2022 as the game progresses with significant development updates. 2015. Following Dragon Age Inquisition's Trespasser DLC release in 2015, the next chapter of the Dragon Age franchise, known internally as Project Joplin, began its very early stages of pre-production with veteran creative director Mike Laidlaw at the helm. Now, before the release of the Trespasser DLC, lead writer David Gaider was moved from the Dragon Age writing team and onto BioWare's new IP, Anthem. As David was shuffled, Patrick Weeks became the new lead writer of Dragon Age. According to developers familiar with Project Joplin, the plans for the next Dragon Age were inspiring. The team had learned from the studio's previous hiccups, and they were using a set of established tools that made developing the game feasible. They also had leaders who said they were committed to avoiding the mistakes that they made on Dragon Age Inquisition. Project Joplin was apparently centered on heists in Tevinter, smaller in scale in Inquisition, but larger in player choice, followers, reactivity, and depth. A focus was placed on repeat play and reactivity. The goal was to focus as much as possible on choice and consequence, with smaller areas and fewer fetch quests than Inquisition. While it was still very early in the works, some of the developers at the time had put their best work into it. It was going to be ambitious, and many developers felt excited about the possibilities. 2016. In 2016, 1 year after pre-production had started on Project Joplin, a major bump in the road occurred. Mass Effect Andromeda required all hands on deck, and so many members of the Dragon Age team were moved to work on it. These developers are credited in the credits of Andromeda as the Dragon Age finalizing team. After a year or so of working on Anthem, David Gaider left BioWare in February 2016 to seek a new challenge. At the time, many developers had ridiculed David Gaider's narrative direction for the game. Others inside BioWare wanted to tell a different story. Gaider began to feel less keen to play the game that he was working on, and with his departure, Anthem's story was rebooted with new lead writers. 2017. After the release of Andromeda in March 2017, BioWare turned its attention to developing Joplin for the majority of the Dragon Age staff. Many found it refreshing to work on the next exciting Dragon Age game after so much time spent on Andromeda, but it wasn't long before BioWare's next big project was being plagued with development troubles. By late 2017, Anthem was in serious trouble, and EA decided drastic action was needed. In October 2017, EA cancelled the development of Joplin and moved the bulk of its staff onto Anthem. With 2 years of development on a project that will most likely never see the light of day, Mike Laidlaw departed BioWare that very same month. Weather Factory's Alexis Kennedy had previously worked on Project Joplin, but according to his LinkedIn, he also left the project in October. Kennedy's work only extended to Joplin, as Mark Darrah later confirmed that his work will not be in the next Dragon Age. As most of Joplin's core team went to work on Anthem, a small skeleton crew stuck around to work on a brand new Dragon Age project under the new codename Morrison. Inquisition's art director Matthew Goldman took over as creative director. Morrison was intended to reboot the next Dragon Age using technology from Anthem. Yet unlike the Joplin project, which focused on single-player gameplay and was spearheaded by Mike Laidlaw, Morrison was planned to have a live service component built for long-term gameplay and revenue generation. Many developers working on Morrison stated that the game will change drastically in the next 2 years. This has been the case for every Dragon Age game thus far. However, the point was that the project will take many different shapes until it feels like an actual Dragon Age game. Now, flash forward to today, given Morrison's single-player turnaround and removal of multiplayer in 2021, we can definitely confirm the validity of this statement. Nevertheless, a small skeleton team led by a new creative director with a live service multiplayer-focused vision began early pre-production on the next Dragon Age around the end of 2017, while the bulk of the Dragon Age team, like Mark Darrah, remained focused on Anthem. 2018. In December 2018, BioWare teased the next Dragon Age at the Game Awards. However, unbeknownst to the entire fandom at the time, we didn't know that this title had been rebooted, and therefore we presumed that the game would release pretty soon. In reality, when the Dreadwolf Rises teaser dropped, the next iteration of Dragon Age 4 had only been in its very early pre-production stages with a small team for about a year. Be that as it may, a few of the lead developers working on this next Dragon Age confirmed that they are creating the next entry with an eye to what the fans love about Dragon Age, which is easy because they themselves love Dragon Age, and the team believes that they will make a game that does right by the franchise. Even creative director Matthew Goldman believed that the next Dragon Age would be the studio's most epic quest yet. Now, in hindsight, the announcement trailer for The Dreadwolf Rises wasn't supposed to act as an official announcement of Dragon Age 4, but more of a message to the fans that something is certainly happening with Dragon Age, and those plans will involve the Dreadwolf, the Red Lyrium Idol, and Solas's scheme as a continuation of Trespass's narrative. 2019. Following the release of Anthem in February 2019, the Dragon Age team, including executive producer Mark Darrah, returned to work on the next iteration of Dragon Age. With the Dragon Age team back on this new project and operating with a sizable staff, the studio proceeded with the pre-production stages of Morrison. At BioWare, pre-production of any project can range between 5 and 60 people. In this early stage, core concepts, prototypes, and system developments are heavily iterated upon. Considering BioWare creates story-driven games, much time is spent developing many tools for the game's narrative. Other focuses during this stage are on the game's key features as well as market research. Throughout the production stages, the team completed a variety of tasks. Some examples have been posted online, including voice acting, plenty of concept art, in-engine prototypes, gameplay tests, and an up-resed HD TV screen model of Solas that I still, to this day, yearn for a full answer on. Is this a new picture of Solas? What is this? It's definitely not in the games, or is it? I don't know, but I would like to know. The team also moved to new offices in downtown Edmonton. In August of 2019, lead producer Fernando Mello left BioWare after working on the Dragon Age series for nearly a decade. He said his work of guiding the team through EA's concept and early production phases has been completed, and that he felt that it was the least messy time to leave the company. Even further, Fernando said that with a great game leadership team in place, a fantastic creative vision, and some of the best devs in the world, Morrison is well underway to becoming the definitive Dragon Age experience, and he's incredibly proud and honoured to have played a part in that. He'll be eagerly awaiting the opportunity to experience the next Dragon Age as a fan this time around. Fernando's departure signalled the end of the pre-production stages and the beginning of Morrison's production stages around the end of 2019 and the start of 2020. 2020. In March 2020, at the height of the pandemic, BioWare held a team meeting reviewing the story for the next Dragon Age. Lead producer Costa said that everyone was very excited, and the team still believe today that they have the opportunity to launch the best story with Morrison. The characters are amazing, and many of the developers are dying to say more. Now, the team had just started the main production stages of Morrison, having spent at least 2 years in pre-production. Throughout the current production stages of Morrison, the team will go through the whole development of content and features. At this point, the team has the majority of the game's systems in place. Some new systems will of course be created with the implementation of newer features. The team also grows tremendously bigger as the development progresses. The Dragon Age team commendably have and continue to have endured through the pandemic with adaptations and major changes to the communication and development of Morrison. After a few growing pains at the start, production was able to steadily continue throughout the months of 2020. As Dragon Age Dreadwolf is currently in its production stages, there are many indicators towards development that have been revealed online, like working romance scenes, playtesting content, milestone progression, patented mechanics, etc. Now, throughout 2020, BioWare also revealed 3 teasers and trailers for Dragon Age Dreadwolf, which represent the game's progress at the time. At EA Play 2020, 12 seconds of in-engine footage was shown. Gamescom 2020 revealed an in-depth behind-the-scenes look at the pre-production stages of Dragon Age Dreadwolf. And the Game Awards 2020 featured a cinematic trailer regarding the characters and locations we will witness in Dragon Age Dreadwolf. In November, BioWare outrightly confirmed Project Morrison in BioWare's book of stories and secrets from 25 years of game development. The book shared that Morrison was being helmed by executive producer Darrah, and the game will take place to Tevinter as events of Inquisition and Trespasser threaten to forever change Fadus. This book also explored the enigmatic Wolfrock book that Darrah has teased for half a decade. Apparently, this red book was an internal guide for developer and publisher eyes only that summarized the vision of Joplin. The Joplin project has since been revised to such an extent that its codename changed to Morrison, but the red book still contains plenty of ideas likely to appear in the next Dragon Age, which means that potentially the work that has gone into Joplin may not have just been for null, it may find its way into Morrison. Now, at the end of November, gameplay designer Melissa Janowich decided to leave BioWare after 3 years. In December, just before Dragon Age Day, Darrah and Casey Hudson revealed that they're both also leaving BioWare too. Christian Daly, who was working on the Anthem 2.0 project, was shuffled from that project onto Dragon Age as the new executive producer, whereas McKay acted as the interim general manager. Casey and Mark both believed that they were stepping away from BioWare knowing that Dragon Age would be okay and in safe hands. Mark, in particular, shared a few words about how he's confident the next Dragon Age will show that BioWare remains committed to these kinds of games and the team has a lot to show us. The Edmonton Journal reported that Casey Hudson's final day was December 11th, whereas Darrah stayed on until February 2021 to help with Christian Daly's executive producer transition. 2021. In February 2021, BioWare revealed that the Anthem Next reboot was cancelled. Christian Daly, who had previously worked on the reboot, shared that the team had made this decision to keep a laser focus on their efforts as a studio and strengthen the next Dragon Age, Mass Effect, and SWTOR. The Anthem teams were moved to work on each project. Merely a day after Anthem's cancellation, Jason Schreier reported that Dragon Age Dreadwolf was originally designed with a heavy multiplayer component. However, in the past few months, the game had recently transformed into a single-player only game. Jason shared further that during development, some members of BioWare's leadership team fought to pivot the game back to a single-player experience. Now, the planned live service elements and multiplayer components have been removed and reworked from this project. BioWare are and remain adamant about creating the next Dragon Age with a laser-focused single-player experience. In March, 14-year narrative quality designer Aaron Lebray left the Dragon Age team. In May, audio artist Presley Hines left the Dragon Age team. In June, product director Gabe Highland left the Dragon Age team. Also in June, Gary McKay was confirmed as BioWare's studio general manager. Having served as the interim GM since December 2020, he was granted this position permanently. Gary revealed that the studio are committed to creating great BioWare games with a laser focus. A Dragon Age 4 alpha file size was apparently data mined on the PlayStation Store by a seemingly credible Twitter account, PlayStation Game Sites. Nothing has since come of this. I don't know if it's indicative of the next Dragon Age's production stages, or if it was just a weird little leak, but it's just seemed to have been nothing. In July, Games Insider Jeff Grubb via VentureBeat reported that Dragon Age 4 is expected for a 2023 release window. Also, according to Jeff, we'll start hearing more about this game in 2022, which we can confirm that this report seems pretty accurate. In September, principal UX designer Issa Roos left the Dragon Age team. Gabby Soto joined BioWare as a new lighting artist. Derek Wilkes joined the Dragon Age team as a cinematic designer. In October, Jeff Grubb via VentureBeat reported that Dragon Age 4 is headed to PS5 and Xbox Series X/S without cross-gen release. The game will be next-gen exclusive. Also in October, associate quality designer Scott Correll left the Dragon Age team. In November, creative director Matthew Goldman suddenly departed the Dragon Age team after a mutual agreement with BioWare and EA leadership to part ways. This bombshell update was revealed in a staff email leaked to Kotaku. The reasoning behind this quick exit is still unknown, and I'm not really going to speculate further because we just don't know anything about what happened with Goldman and BioWare. In December, on Dragon Age Day 2021, BioWare shared a paragraph about the next Dragon Age. They reassured everyone that the teams are hard at building the next single-player focused experience for Dragon Age, and they're excited to share more in 2022. 2022. In January, General Manager Gary McKay shared the current state of BioWare. Gary spoke on the continued uncertainty of the pandemic and how it's changed the studio's processes and working situation. Yet despite that, BioWare continued to adapt to these ever-changing circumstances. The team have adopted new tools, processes, and ways to communicate. They're balancing personal time and work, and each person is dealing with their own unique situation. The studio are hard at work on the next iterations of Dragon Age and Mass Effect. Gary has seen some incredible work from both teams. Regarding Dragon Age, BioWare has a veteran group of talented developers working on the next iteration of the franchise. They are focused on a single-player experience that is built on choices that matter. The team can't wait for everyone to see what they've been working on. Gary also explored that the studio feels like they have the right people, the right creative focus, and the right support from EA to deliver on their promises. Alex Calaros announced on Twitter that he's joined the Dragon Age team as a video editor. Says Young joined BioWare as a technical animator, and senior designer Graham Scott left the Dragon Age team. Jeff Grubb via VentureBeat reported that Dragon Age Dreadwolf is in very good hands and is still expected for a 2023 release window. Jeff said that the teams are hitting their milestones and the game is on schedule. Jeff expects it to release in maybe late 2023 at the earliest. Andrew Johnson, EA's manager of core community for Star Wars and BioWare titles, left EA at the end of January. In February, narrative designer John Epler announced that he is the new creative director of Dragon Age Dreadwolf following Matthew Goldman's departure in November 2021. David Gaider praised John Epler's role transition, believing that this was a really positive sign and a fantastic development update. Alongside John Epler's creative director shift, Gary McKay announced that executive producer Christian Daly was leaving the Dragon Age team. However, Gary stated that a strong leadership team of industry and Dragon Age veterans is in place to carry BioWare through production and beyond. On the Dragon Age team currently, Mac Walters is the production director, Corinne Bush is the game director, and Benoit Houle is the director of product development. Now regarding Daly's departure, Christian tweeted that the Dragon Age team are killing it and the game is in amazing hands. Don't fall for the hate. There's lots of positivity and Christian can't wait for when BioWare can share more. Now regarding all of these departures at the time, former executive producer Mark Darrah created a very insightful YouTube video on why he's not worried about Dragon Age 4. And I think that this is a very vital piece of information that correlates a lot to Dragon Age 4's development cycle. So Mark Darrah said that Dragon Age 4's development has many similarities to Dragon Age Origins development, i.e. the team have been working on it for a very long time. The overall project direction has changed a couple of times. Some key leadership members have departed and then have been replaced. Mark Darrah was potentially the third or the fourth executive producer on Dragon Age Origins, and just like Dragon Age Dreadwolf, the creative director of Dragon Age Origins changed late in development. But despite all of those difficulties, and to the outside perspective what would seem like a disaster of development, Dragon Age Origins was a fantastic and an incredibly successful game. Ultimately, Mark Darrah shared that he was very hopeful for Dragon Age Dreadwolf and trusts its team. Mark said that AAA games aren't made by individuals, they are made by brilliant vision driving the game to completion. It's about the collective vision, ideas and creativity of the team. While many have left this project, most of the team know this IP. Most of the team know how to create a great game, and Mark believes that they will do just that with Dragon Age Dreadwolf, and he thinks EA understands that and will give them the time to accomplish just that. Now in April, QA analyst Alan Schumacher left BioWare. In the middle of April, BioWare shared a Dragon Age community update covering the next game's progression. The blog shared insights from a few members of the Dragon Age leadership team. It showcased community and fan works, and it unveiled a new blog program called Developer Stories, which introduces many members of the team in great detail, allowing us fans to get a better understanding on who's creating the next Dragon Age game and what their roles entail. Since the reveal of this community update blog, we have received 5 developer stories. Creative director John Epler, technical director Maciej Kruowski, director of product development Benoit Houle, game director Corinne Bush, and production director Mac Walters, with more on their way. At the end of April, story artist Nick Thornborough left BioWare and the Dragon Age team after 14.9 years working at BioWare. In June, Dragon Age Dreadwolf, the official title of Dragon Age 4, was unveiled following new brand material and a small blog. We've called it Joplin, we've called it Morrison, we've called it Dragon Age 4, of course it will always be Dragon Age 4, but now we have an official title, being Dragon Age Dreadwolf, Dad, Daddy for short. The BioWare blog briefly explored the identity of the Dreadwolf, emphasizing that players who haven't met the next game's antagonist don't need to worry, because Dreadwolf will introduce himself to our new hero when the time is right, which is fantastic for new players picking up Dad who don't need to play the previous games. And the blog shared further that Dragon Age Dreadwolf will not launch release in 2022. However, BioWare will be talking more about this game later this year. Now, following this reveal, former executive Mark Darrah tweeted a rejected Dragon Age 4 title, sort of, that being Dragon Age Minrathous Nights, alluding to a game with a heavy focus into Vinter's capital city, Minrathous. Is Minrathous going to feature very heavily in Dragon Age Dreadwolf? It certainly seems so. And finally, Jeff Grubb reinforced that Dragon Age Dreadwolf is still more than a year away. With that, we're now up to speed on Dragon Age Dreadwolf's development as of June 2022. The next stages of production we assume for this project will be alpha, beta, and then on to launch. As I just mentioned, the next Dragon Age has an estimated release window of late 2023. We will hear more about Dreadwolf later this year. I assume we'll probably see a trailer at the Game Awards in December, just after Dragon Age Day, and around the time the Netflix show Dragon Age Absolution will air, because that month will be a very exciting time for Dragon Age fans. There will be a massive buzz in the air anyway. If BioWare releases a trailer then, it will just be phenomenal, and there'll be a fantastic energy. However, that is just an assumption on my part. We'll have to wait and see what BioWare concocts in their own time. But in conclusion to Dragon Age Dreadwolf's development so far, after going through a tumultuous time of its live service reboot, a single player turnaround, a cancelled previous iteration, and a rework of BioWare's leadership team with many key departures, I am confident in BioWare's ability to create a fantastic Dragon Age game. I wholeheartedly trust this entire team, and that's where the majority of my optimism lies, in the dedicated, passionate, and fantastic people creating this next installment. We should not put our hope in just one person running this Dragon Age ship, but in the entire team who are working very hard every single day creating the next adventures in Dragon Age Dreadwolf. With that, of course, I would love to know what you think about Dragon Age Dreadwolf's development so far. How are you feeling about it currently as it stands? What do you think about these recent news updates and its recent developments since the live service reboot and the single player turnaround? What about its expected release window, and what do you think we will see this year in the form of Dragon Age Dreadwolf content from BioWare? Of course, you're already in the right place for all the latest Dragon Age Dreadwolf updates. Till the next one, I've been Jackdaw, and I should go. Whoa, whoa, whoa.